Good evening, everybody. I am your host, Michael Stavanis. I am exhausted. I hope you all are doing all right, though. It has been an interesting week. I know I have been gone, but sure enough, had a few things going on for myself. I hope y'all have managed without us. Sure enough, though, this week we have had plenty of interesting things going on. One of the most common ones I'm hearing is OMG, when are they going to release the Epstein files? And we're hearing it most of all, I've noticed, from a lot of Democrat representatives and politicians that, when questioned why they didn't reveal all of this before, have zero to no answer. Um, Now everybody's in an uproar about this, and I can't blame. We all want to see these files out, but sure enough, one thing I am hearing most often is everybody just wants them out and wants people held accountable for it. And I can't blame anyone for that. And I want to see this too. Has anyone taken a step back though and wondered for a minute? We already know there are thousands of names on this list. And Trump and his DOJ are clearly trying to get this done. But has anybody thought for a minute, holy crud, what happens if half of Congress, half of the House, half of the Senate, as well as some of the most powerful celebrities and big names out there, comes out on this list, and then all of a sudden everybody goes to trial? Everybody's kicked out of their positions. What do we do then? Kind of a scary thought. What happens if half of Congress is all of a sudden, you know, looking at prison time? Puts a touch of fear in my heart, honestly, because that'll just dismantle the American government. I hate to say. Doesn't matter what party you are, it'll cause a lot of havoc. So yes, I want to see these files out, but let's uh let's take a little bit of time on these. I want to see crystal clear, you know, evidence on these people, and I want to see secession order in place if need be. As I see a lot of Democrats, especially here in Washington State, screaming, "Oh well, Trump's on it. Vance, his whole everybody in his cabinet's on it." Did you ever take a step back and think about what if that was true? All of a sudden, an entire cabinet is in prison. No pecking order after that. Be kind of a scary thought, wouldn't it? So as much as I'm standing behind everybody, like I said, I want to see these files out. Let's take a step back and take a breath, in my opinion. Sure enough, I have been having a nice long debate with Pramila Jayapal on her X account. This is a woman who doesn't care, has made it clear that she does not care about the American style of government. So it's a wonder why, she's saying, oh, yes, release this, release this. This is a woman who has openly said we need to change our government and change the American way of life. Of course, this is also a woman who's sitting here, you know, spending less time in her constituency than flying around on taxpayer dollars to see people that she gets along with who also want to see the American way of life gone. And they've made it quite clear. It's terrifying to me, honestly. Because I remember a time Seattle was a mecca of punk. And now they have Jayapal who says, no, everybody listen to me and me alone. Any dissenting voice. But sure enough, yeah, been to a town hall of hers, tried to ask her questions, called her out, and sure enough, yeah, I remember Antifa escorting me out. That was fun. Jonathan Joe has dealt with these guys before. I don't know what to tell you. It's terrifying to me. Everybody just wants to see the American way of life turned into anarchy. Which I hate to say, anarchy does not work. They've tried it before over there in the Ukraine. Fun little bit of history. You guys should check it out. Works on a very, very small scale. But once you get to about 1,000 people, yeah, it doesn't work too well. Unfortunately. Oh well. Another thing we're seeing, though, and that I'm most excited about personally, we here at Gopup are very excited about this. The executive order changing up housing. Now, here in Washington State, we have Warren, we have Murray, Jayapal, Simmons, Ferguson, everybody screaming, oh my God, this is a horrible thing. We got every Democrat politician out there right now is screaming this is a terrible thing. Fun fact, the policies he is enacting, he wants to enact with it, are tried and tested and very effective. And actually very similar to something I've been trying to introduce here in Kitsap County. Why not the local government set up a shelter, job training, rehabilitation services, things like that. Things that'll not only get people off the street, but will hopefully keep them off the street. Instead, we are seeing, especially Jayapal is very much against this. Why? Because she is a big proponent of housing first. And we have seen, in effect, just how effective housing first is. Now, I have sat here, I have worked with the homeless, with several organizations, and it drives me up the wall, especially here in Washington State, knowing that there's a lot of people that genuinely do not want to get off of the streets. And yeah, because that means responsibility. They're getting government money. They're getting handouts. They're getting all sorts of nice little things. Heck, here in Kitsap County, if you're homeless, you can sit here and break into houses. You can cause all sorts of mischief and mayhem. And at most, they're gonna put you in a bed for a night at the Kitsap County Jail. If there's space. You'll be out the next day. It's disgusting. We have seen Washington State absolutely become a shell of what it was decades ago. I wasn't even here decades ago, and yet I know of the glory of Washington State. What we are seeing now is, in order to be lower middle class, you have to make six figures. I just got married on Sunday. I already can barely pay my own rent. Yet, in order to provide a good house, a good home, a good loving life for the woman I adore, I have to make over $120,000 a year? I hate to say, people, raising the minimum wage doesn't do that. We are seeing a lot of low-income housing coming in here in Kitsap County, and that would be a good thing, except for one small fact. Thanks to Housing First, wait lists are over 8 years now. Now we have NGOs that are supposed to help with this. Would be a good thing. Except we're seeing a lot of BS there. Tara Simmons, she has a one employee NGO of her own. And somehow $6 million has disappeared out of that from, certain grants given to her NGO by the state. I'll give you a hint as to who the only employee of her NGO is. We're facing corruption. We're facing BS. We are facing people that just want to be politicized. They want to say, I'm right, you're wrong. Unfortunately, that's not the American way. Me, I'm from Detroit originally. Had a hard knock life. It was not easy. I will tell you that much. It was not easy. Family I grew up in didn't make it any easier. But sure enough, I still sit here. I had a House representative present at my wedding. Michelle Caldier. You guys, if you don't know who she is, you need to get to know who she is. She is an amazing woman running for Senate. And frankly, I want to see her make it. I don't care what party she is. She's just a great woman. She cares about people. She cares about everyone. She took her time out. I invited all of the local Democrats, senators and representatives from Legislative District 23 and 26. Not a single one showed up. This woman took time out of her time, even dragged her fiance to my wedding, all because I met her at a town hall and asked her if she'd be willing to come. She said sure. We see one party that actually cares about the people and wants to see the American citizens thrive. And I hate to say, it's no longer the Democrat Party in any way, shape, or form. Now, I know a lot of Democrats that are good men and women. They go by the old bylaws. They want to see higher taxation that leads to programs that will help the public. They want to see, all sorts of good stuff. But they believe in stronger federal government stronger control, stronger than the states. So me, I'm a little weary on that. I'm more of a paleo conservative myself. I believe that, sure enough, we need to get out there. I believe we need lower taxes in order to provide for the people, give them the opportunity to decide on things. I want to see the states have more say. Then again, I am a Michigander, which, fun fact, as a territory, we declared war on Ohio. And I think it's still kind of in my blood. I still want to see that war going on. I think I have a solution, though. Maybe every year, we weigh it out. Maybe, Michigan teams get higher ratings in college football than Ohio. Maybe the Toledo Strip goes to Michigan for the next year. And we just kind of, pass custody back and forth. Who knows? It might work. It's a solution. Not a great one, but it's a solution. Anyway. But what we are seeing is here in Washington State, I hate it here in Washington State. I have a couple friends who are Democrats that genuinely want to talk. But for the most part, the progressive Democrats here in Washington State, they don't want to talk. They want to fight. They want to say, my beliefs are wrong. Whatever you believe is not right. Doesn't matter how many facts you present. Like I'm sitting here right now. They have proof housing first does not work. And yet, what do we see? Everybody and their mother sits here, stands behind Jayapal. Says, oh my God, we need to do it this way. We have Bob Ferguson, who just signed a bill increasing government overstep and oversight into tribal lands. And yet, this week, stepping foot on the Kinault tribe, helping them cut the ribbon at their new tribal center. In my opinion, that is just rude. Guy just said, hey, we're going to take over your land. And then says, hey, look at what we're giving you. That's not right. Not in any way, shape, or form. Not in my opinion. Frankly, guys, we need Michelle Collier in. One way or another. We need Jayapal out. We need Simmons out. We need to see a complete change in the political atmosphere of Washington State. It's dangerous here. I walk down the street and sure enough, I have a 15-minute walk to my work in the morning. And what do we see? We see nothing but used canisters, needles, things like that, litter in the ground. We got people, heck, at my own wedding. I'm walking down to my own wedding. Guy tried to pull a butterfly knife on me. It didn't end so well for him. Just to let you know. I was not happy. But sure enough, we're seeing a lot of these policies. Bob Ferguson, Pramila Jayapal, Warren, Simmons, Richards, all of them. They're passing all these things saying, hey, we love you guys. We love our citizens. But it's not helping in any way, shape, or form. They just cut $150 million from mental health and education for those in need. Why? So they could put $150 million towards non-citizens. It's disgusting to me. Do not get me wrong. I want to see non-citizens doing all right. I want to see us revamp our immigration system. But to give them benefits like it's being done, you got to strip them away from the American citizens. And that's not right in any way, shape, or form. I'm hurting. I'm hurting my butt off. Heck, rent in Kitsap County is now $1,900 a month average. It's disgusting. Sure enough, I'm sitting here sharing a house with 9 other guys just to afford rent. It's disgusting. It really is. And yet we have housing lists that are through the roof. 8 years, 5 to 8 years on a wait list, which, by the way, is frozen right now because they have too many people on the wait lists. We are seeing police swamped. Why? Because thanks to Democrat policies, they can't enforce any laws against those perpetrating crimes. But so help me, hey, I jaywalk. That's a $300 fine right there. Yeah. Guy that stabbed me, on the other hand, that he's walking around. No problem. We need to change. We need honest politicians that actually care. I've sat here, I set up my business. I'm offering cheap financial services to new businesses and small businesses and families. I'm not making any profit off of that for my own. I make a few bucks off of that for each client. Why? Because we need honest people that honestly care. We're not seeing that in the Washington Democrat Party. Not at all. All they want is power. They want control. They have had this state for 40 years. What has changed? Honestly. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's disgusting. And yet, people are still like, hey, this works. No, it doesn't. I hate to say, it really doesn't. Oh well. Maybe somebody will listen. Most likely not. But sure enough, that's why we're trying to rally these people. We need to see the end of the progressive movements. We really do. If we want any normalcy. Because sure enough, it's getting crazy. Washington State, fun fact, is one of the hotbeds of segregation. It's the only way I can put it. We have the neos that really, especially here where I live, Bremerton, it's dangerous. Heck, we have one of the founders of the Northwest Front, freaking Atomwaffen. He's regarded as a local hero, which is disgusting in my opinion. We have all sorts of supremacy groups. It doesn't matter if you have it, whether you are white, black, Asian, whatever. There's a supremacy group for you here in Washington. You're hetero? You're homo. You're binary. You're whatever. There's a supremacy group for you. You're Christian. You're Jewish. You're Muslim. You're Buddhist. Whatever. there's a supremacy group for you here in Washington State. And that is disgusting. Because frankly, this nation was built on everybody coming together, finding a solution together. And yet we're not allowing that anymore. That's not the norm anymore. We need to get back to that. Otherwise, America will fail. It's the only way to put it. We will fail. It's sad to me that this is going on because I wish I could say that there was a light at the end of the tunnel. But the only way we're going to get that light is to get the progressive Democrats out of Washington State. I got friends down in Oregon. I got friends all over. We need to change this. So right now, right here in front of all of you guys, I am letting you know in 2 years, I am running for office. I'm going to do what I can to represent you guys. All of you. Party affiliation, be danged. Sure enough, we need people who care about people in power. And we just don't have that in the Washington State Democrats. It's sad. It really is. Hopefully we'll get Jayapal out soon. And then again, I don't see that happening because Lord knows we got Washington State AG Nick sitting here. He's going to fight everything he can to make sure the Democrats stay in control. Just like Ferguson did. Are we going to see change? We can. But we got to unite. We got to make the change ourselves. At least we know Michelle Caldier will have our backs. Greg Wheeler, he'll have our backs. Jeff Coffin, oh man, I can't wait to see that. I respect him, I do. But he destroyed a good chunk of Bremerton, and now he wants to say he's mayor, or he wants to run for mayor. No. Not in my opinion. Anyway, I hope y'all are having a great time. I hope y'all have a great weekend. I've missed you guys. By the way, nice new ring. I will see you guys next week. You try and stay safe. Try and stay smart. Frankly, hit us up on Twitter. We love you. We'll talk to you later.